Hello, everyone.
Hello, Internet.
Welcome
This,
to. Oh, we should probably figure out how we're gonna introduce the podcast.
since we didn't do it last time,
Yeah.
um, the thing that this is this thing
Yes.
called Millennial Monologue.
Yes. Welcome to the thing called Millennial Monologue.
And we understand that monologue is traditionally one person,
hmm
but we liked the alliteration and we really don't care what you think.
Truth. Very much true. Which supports the monologue standpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just going
Really.
to monologue together because Morgan and I are one.
Yeah. Instead of one soapbox, there's two. Because why not share?
And, right. And I guess if we want to get, I was going to say meta, but I don't think that applies. But we are monologuing on behalf of millennials. So as a collective millennial generation, we
Mhm.
monologue.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Especially since we're like almost bringing up the rear of the millennial generation.
yeah, we're the babies.
We've had a little bit of both worlds. We've had a little bit of cell phones because they weren't there, when we were children.
Right.
But um, now they're here and they're never gonna leave. We can
And
survive without mine.
they're listening to us right now.
Always, always.
Right, Siri? I would have been terrified if that just like.
Hello. Um. Yeah. So, my watch actually just beeped at me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Anyways, technology. So yes, this is Millennial Monologue, if you didn't know. Um, cute theme music. Theme music by Jared Lee French, who,
Thanks, Jared.
yeah, he's the boyfriend. Got to use what you got.
Yeah.
So yes, you can thank Jared Lee French music productions. Yeah,
Incorporated.
incorporated company, limited group. Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. So,
That's Morgan Humberg over there.
oh yes,
She's pretty awesome.
yes, and that's Casey Lowenthal. She's a lot cooler than me, and for some reason decided to be my friend. So,
LOL at cooler. That is not true. If anyone knows Morgan, they know that I am not cooler.
she's a
And
lot.
that's all this podcast is. We just argue about the other person being cooler. I
Pretty
hope you
much.
enjoy it.
We're both cool. We're just on opposite sides of the cool spectrum. Like,
Yeah.
you're actually cool, and I'm not.
We're both the other side of the pillow.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna.
I didn't make that up. It's just like cool,
Oh,
like the other side of the pillow. I just made it both.
it works.
Yeah. And we are drinking tea.
Oh, yes. Today we're recording on the 12th, and the David's Tea Advent Calendar made Sunny C as our tea of the
I
day.
think so. Which is probably very beneficial for us because we've both been working very hard
Mhm.
and flu season is approaching.
Flu
So
season is upon us, people. Wash your hands,
I
please.
think I'm going to get a flu shot for the first time in my life this year.
That scares me.
I've been doing research, and it's mostly because I've only ever gotten the flu twice, and uh, I was trying to think of something snappy about my immune system, uh, but basically, I've learned a lot more about herd immunity and how me getting a vaccination mostly is to help other people who are immunocompromised. So all the pharmacists listening to this, congratulations. You converted someone.
I mean, I would say congratulations to you on figuring out that your vaccine helps more than just you and you're supporting the rest of the public. Whereas I'm just like, oh, if I get the flu, it's fine. I'll live.
Well,
Maybe.
I listened to this really great 2-part podcast that is actually on the Exactly Right podcast network by Karen in Georgia. But the podcast is called This Podcast Will Kill You. And it's about two, I don't think they're epidemiologists, if that's a word, but they study disease. Okay. And they're both named Aaron. And they both really like germs and diseases and enjoy talking about it. And it's very fascinating. And they're also very funny. So I highly recommend if you want to learn about germs and diseases and vaccines. This podcast will kill you.
I don't. That seems dirty. Just get sick and die eventually. It's fine.
They did one episode on Giardia, and one of the women kept accidentally calling it Gerardia, like Gerard Butler. So the name of that episode is Gerardia Butler.
Nice. I mean, if I were to have a disease and it were called the Gerard Butler disease, I would feel comfortable with it. I feel like that wouldn't be such a burden.
Oh, Gerard Butler.
For real, though. But anyways, to our hashtag tis the tea, which, by the way, we update our Instagram daily at Millennial Monologue podcast because somebody stole our at Millennial Monologue, so we had to make it.
Boo.
Yeah.
No, I hope they're successful.
I'm just saying, once we have enough followers, we can buy them out.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's true.
But anyways, highly recommend you follow us. Again, we're kind of like at the end of the year / really, really busy. So we're trying to keep up to date. But
yeah.
We're pretty consistent on our tis the tea of the day right now. So
unless your name is Casey and you just caught up on your advent calendar 20 minutes ago.
It's all good.
But the caramel, how do you say that word? Silk fried cookie. I liked it a lot. I actually didn't think I was gonna like it, but I get nervous for their like cookie ones because they never really taste like that, which I'm usually fine with. But this one did taste a lot like shortbread, and I like shortbread, so.
It definitely had an exact like shortbread cookie smell, and I was like, oh god. I was really nervous, but I mean, I like the taste of it. It tasted desserty and cookie. There was just like a little like aftertaste of butter lingering in my mouth that I didn't enjoy. But if you like shortbread cookies, I highly recommend because I know that's why people eat them.
I feel like it would be a good before bed tea.
Yeah.
And then you go brush your teeth and then you go to sleep.
Yes. That's actually what I did. I used it as a dessert. Save the calories. Yeah.
Yay.
Getting healthy.
Woo!
So that was yesterday. Today, the sunny sea, which I needed because honestly, I have actually been like on the brink of sickness for the past week, and I'm like finally starting to get better.
Nice.
But this tea, I'm in love with. I think I could drink it hot. I can drink it cold. It's fruity. It's
definitely
like I can taste the immune system running.
Yes, and it's very versatile.
Yes.
Versatile. This is also a podcast about how you pronounce things.
To be honest, it kind of like almost, I don't want to say like it tastes like Kool-Aid, but it kind of has a healthy Kool-Aid vibe, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
It's like Kool-Aid and high C, but adult, and it will help you.
Yeah, without all the sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Highly recommend. I'm going to give it... God, I've run out of things to give 3
I
Christmas
give
trees.
it 4 healthy babies. I don't know.
Damn. I give it 20 vaccinations.
Woo! 20 effective vaccinations.
Yes. Yes. Alrighty. But please, if you are a lover of David's tea and or you have the advent calendar as well, please feel free to let us know your thoughts. We follow the hashtag tis the tea. That is our
Yes.
thing.
And also let us know other tea you like. We don't discriminate.
Yeah.
I feel like we're too small to say this, but we have to say this. We're not sponsored by David's Tea yet. But that would be really cool, David's Tea, if you're paying attention.
We're tea lovers in general. So if anybody listening out there is in Austin and or Cleveland area and you have local places to recommend with reward systems, because we do enjoy those, let us know.
Yeah.
Open.
I recently went to, apparently there's a lot of like tea places and tea houses in Cleveland, which this city is proving more and more to me every day that I'm supposed to be here. But I found one and I went out on a limb, everyone, and I made a new friend with a stranger, and it was really fun. We went to a tea house, and she's really, really nice. Her name is Anna. I don't know if she's listening to this. Probably not.
Hello, Anna. Welcome to the podcast.
How embarrassing would that be if I got her name wrong?
Oh, God. This bitch. My name's Marianne.
My name's Eunice.
Oh, no.
That was a weird tangent. But anyway, we went to this really cute tea house, and they had adorable little hourglass tea timers that like it's all 3 in a block, and one is for black tea and it's got black sand, one is for green tea, it's got green sand, and one is for white tea and it's got white sand. And whenever yours is done with the hourglass thing, then your tea is done steeping.
That's nice.
I want one.
I mean, it's like nice in the fact where, every tea has its like standard, but then at the same time, personal preference,
Right.
like some people like it really, really light. Some people are like me and they just leave their black tea in there the whole time.
I do that with my green tea.
Ah.
I've started to try not to do that because I've been trying to drink green tea most days, and I think that is helping me not get sick. But
That's good. I use black tea for the caffeine.
that checks out.
So anyways, everyone, that's our tea.
Tis the tea.
Hashtag tis the tea. So to circle back to what this podcast is about. So we do want to stand up for millennials and address some of the whatchamacallit, ageism happening in the world, in the workplace. Just a lot of misconceptions about differences between us and Gen Z and the boomers and everybody.
Right, and also give the niche millennial a thought process on things. Our take, and also we feel we have an interesting take even within the millennial sphere because we are pursuing artistic fields and things like that. So that makes us a little bit different. Yeah.
So we're really representing those emotionally, lazy millennials that the news attacks every other week.
We're the ones ruining the napkin industry.
Yes. We just we don't use straws. We don't support jobs apparently.
We hate watches.
Yeah,
we want to personally kill all watchmakers.
We want to save the environment, but we're killing the economy, so it's fine. Totally fine.
We want every single thing in our lives handed to us.
Actually, I would like that. Can I have that?
I'll have what she's having.
Yes, please. I will have what millennials are having. Mark.
We bankrupt ourselves on avocado toast, so we
God.
can't buy homes.
That's true. So true.
Even though you and I are both within the next couple years planning on buying houses.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't eat avocados, so I think I'm safe.
Okay.
I think
I do eat avocados, but I do it responsibly. Also, like, to tie it back to millennials being sustainably conscious, I try to limit my usage of avocados because, one, it's highly wasteful getting them to Ohio. There's a lot of gas and fuel and everything involved. Two, because of their booming popularity, like so many other quote-unquote superfoods, upper class people, and mainly white upper class people or like middle class people, have been like, these things are delicious. I know that indigenous people and like people of color have been eating these things for thousands of years and they have great benefits, but it's a new thing for me, so let's drive demand up. Let's make the prices skyrocket to the point where the people growing these things can't even afford them because they are not being supported.
That seems like a topic for another podcast.
It does. We are adding it to the list, don't worry.
We will not be discussing politics today, people, especially with everything going on.
Oh, geez.
Right now.
Again.
Oh, America. Actually, the world, really. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. Yes. So, just for everyone who's curious and who thinks that, anyone under 50 is like a millennial, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong, because we're at the tail end of millennialism. It's somewhere between being born like I think it was 1981 to 1996.
I believe that's the exact range.
Okay. Yeah. So, none of us are like 40 yet. We haven't hit that hill, but we're getting there.
Yeah. And that's another huge misconception about millennials, just right off the bat. Everyone assumes that we are children or that we act like children, and that people forget that people in their 30s are millennials. And I mean, we're in our mid-20s.
Right.
And
yeah. I mean, we're all out of high school now. So we're not the ones glued to our phones on the crosswalks, walking to class.
Most of us.
Most of us. Yeah, I mean, we're out of high school, but we're not of retirement age yet. So, seeing all this stuff about millennials in the workplace and like how we're ruining things, it just doesn't make sense because we haven't really gotten to that phase in life. Like, we're just now at the age where people are respecting us as managers and such. So,
I actually think all millennials are, if you went to college at the quote-unquote traditional time, most millennials, I believe, would be out of college if they went in right after high school.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. So some of us are just starting. Congrats on your leap, young millennials.
Good job.
I mean, I know we're young too, but I don't feel like it.
Age is a weird thing.
It is, especially for us, because I really do feel like as a millennial, it's hard because we can be grouped in one section, but at the same time, like, I know that my sister, who's just, 3 years older than me, definitely didn't have a phone until she was like almost out of high school. Whereas I got mine in like junior high, and then the younger millennials had them in like elementary school. And that just like blows my mind.
Yeah.
And then you have people who are, 10 years older, like didn't have phones until they were out in the world.
Right.
They
They
had
were
to use
our age
maps.
when that was really becoming a big thing.
Yeah.
Um, I like back in my day. Now I seriously remember because I got like a pay as you go phone,
Yep.
and I had that for emergencies
Hmm.
because I was like the millennial version of a latchkey kid for a long time, which was very different from like the original latchkey kids of like the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Right.
But so I got a phone. My sister got a phone at the same time. They were pay as you go. My sister's was born in '96, so either she is just Miss Millennial or she is just barely Millennial,
Hmm.
depending on what you look at. But so I got my phone when I was 11, and I distinctly remember. Do you remember like the browser button that like you couldn't hit because it was going to
Yes.
cost so much money?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that. And I remember when people didn't text, you
Hmm.
just had your phone for phone calls.
Yep. We actually did talk to people, contrary to popular belief.
Like, I remember when texting was invented. We just communicate differently within the world, I guess is my
Hmm.
point.
Yeah.
Than
No.
people, than generations before us and even generations after us, which is a different way to say what I just said.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I just think it's kind of crazy how we can be of one generation and have one end that, I mean, they know how to operate smartphones now, but it took them longer because, they didn't have it and they were like, oh, that's for like children. And then they
Yeah,
made fun of us and then they're like, oh, wait, this is actually useful.
yeah. And the thing that cracks me up is a lot of the time the people who are making fun of us are like the whole cliche, everybody got a participation trophy. Who was giving us the participation trophies? And I don't know anyone who like that felt like a consolation prize. It didn't feel like you got a prize. It felt like drawing more attention to the fact that you didn't get a ribbon or
Yeah,
like you didn't win something. I honestly think that drove a lot of us harder to try better to not get the consolation prize.
definitely. I mean, it's just like it's basically like a last place ribbon, but like more than one person gets it. They're just like, thanks for trying,
Yeah.
but it wasn't good enough. It
But
didn't
we
make me
don't
feel
want you to cry, so here you
right.
go.
Yeah, and I mean it does. I feel like it works really well for Gen Z people actually. Like being in 4-H, from like mini 4-H to the 10 years of hard work that I put into it.
Do you want to
Uh,
explain what 4-H is to people
oh,
who may
yes.
not know?
Yeah, sorry. So when you grow up in an agricultural town, um, they have this giant club that most of your town is participating in called 4-H.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly agriculture based. They have a lot of cool stuff in there, like woodworking and painting and photography, and there's
Some
pretty
people
much
do baking, like it,
yeah,
it covers a lot.
yeah. There's lots of little clubs for everyone. I was mostly involved in the livestock projects, like horses and all that fun
And
stuff.
you did dog training,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Dogs. They also had cats. Yes, you can show your cat. Do they always enjoy it? No. But if you got a
Tune in
cute
next
cat,
month for when Casey shows her cat. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. If you got a cute cat and you want to show it off, you can do that. Um, Although I will say that showing my cat was one of the biggest culprits of like participation ribbons, but it's fine. Anyways, so it's this big thing, it's what we have like our county fair where you get to show off your animal or your work to the whole town and it's fun. It's competition, it keeps your kids busy during the summer so that you don't have to deal with them. Or you have to drive them everywhere. It's kind of one or the other. If you can pawn them off onto somebody for the summer, you're good, but most people had to drive their kids every day to their club meetings. Sorry, Mom.
I was one of the few people in my town who did not do 4-H. My sister and I did not, and we went to day camp during the summer. So
Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost the same thing. It's just a little different, It's
yeah,
keeping you busy, and it's
but
keeping
yes,
your mind
great.
working outside of school. Yeah, but anyways, so I did a lot of stuff in 4-H, a lot of different stuff, and like as I got older, I like mentored more of the younger people, and I noticed that sometimes if they didn't get a ribbon, they would just burst into tears, and then
Really?
but then if they got a ribbon, they were like, "Yay!" Like I did a good job. Um, but for me, I remember being in mini 4-H. I hope children aren't listening to this because we will be swearing. Um,
A lot.
yes, a lot. Um, but like when I was in mini 4-H, I knew going in that it didn't really matter. I mean, it did, but it didn't because they only hand out participation ribbons. Like they don't judge the minis. It's all
Okay.
participation. So they're like, thanks for, coming. You don't count until next year, but thanks for putting all this work into something and then, not really being judged. Like I've even judged um contests for minis. And it's this thing of like you have to look at the kids and be like, well, it was a really hard decision. It was so hard that we just decided everyone wins. And it's
That's
like,
not what you thought.
no.
Hang on, my cat's really close to a window. I'm gonna.
Okay, yes. So yeah, anyways, on the participation thing, it does help some people, but I do want to say that I don't think it really enforces people to do the bare minimum and get away with it. If anything, it made us work a lot harder.
Well, and if someone has that personality trait, they're going to do that regardless.
Right. Yeah.
Whether you were born in 1928 or 2028, like if that's who you are as a person, that's who you are as a person.
Hmm.
But something I've noticed with Gen Z after us, I feel like even more than millennials, they try to give everybody an equal playing field. They try to make everybody equal. So maybe the participation trophies work better on them. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it affects everyone differently, and I mean, it's just because of the resources we have around us, like we had news and media and TV and all that fun stuff, but our parents didn't. So the only stuff they knew about was the big stuff, and we grew up in a generation where we started to know more of the local stuff on top of the world stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and now everything's at our fingertips, and that's Gen Z and what they grew up with. So they know everything from when they come out of the womb.
Yeah, and we all just get bombarded with it.
Yeah,
Um,
much.
Everything has its pros and cons. Every generation, every job, um, everything has its pros and cons. And I guess what we're saying is weigh those for yourself. Everything's a case by case basis.
There you go. Podcast over. It's been great talking with you. Oh. We have solved the problem of all
Yeah.
generations. Just think for
Yeah,
yourself.
every single problem.
It's over. Done. Completed. We don't even need a democracy anymore.
Nope.
We can just crumple that over and live as a happy commune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares about impeachment?
Who cares about the government? Who cares about rules and organization and
There are no rules.
it's the purge.
Oh God. It's not like that. I just mean I get to wear a grout fit like I am right now and nobody's judging me.
Oh my
Those
God.
kinds of rules.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. Sweatpants every day kind of rule. I can deal with that, I
And
guess.
do whatever the fuck you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy as long as, no one else is negatively affected in any way. shape, or form. So do nothing. Just sit at home and watch TV. Or if you don't like TV, listen to music. Or if you don't like music, sit in silence.
Or listen to this podcast always.
Yes. Definitely listen to the podcast.
There's, it's called the Wiccan Read, which Wicca is a nature-based, pagan-derived religion. That's like a whole other thing we can get into later. But also, take a shot every time we suggest a new podcast topic. Please don't. Please do not do that.
No. You'll get wasted very quickly.
But basically, how's it go? It's like, do what ye will, harm none, or something like that. I'm actually going to look it up because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't get it right. That's another thing. Millennials want to get things right.
Oh my God, it's obnoxious how much we want to get things right. I can't tell you how many like managers and just people who work above me, how much I have annoyed them because like I don't need to be micromanaged, but I definitely want things to be perfect. And I'm like, okay, how's this? And they're like, well, just change this. So then I change it and then I bring it back to them and I'm like, okay, how's this? And they're just like, did you change what I asked? Yeah. Well, then it's fine. Okay, but do you want to look at it?
Check it.
do you just can you just glance at it? Can you please give me some sort of validation?
Yeah. But also, again, this is totally going off on a tangent. I got to hear a very successful playwright. I got to hear him speak about playwriting, which was really cool. An opportunity through my job, by the way. Okay, but before I forget, the Wiccan Read it's like, if it harms none, do what ye will. That's part of it. It's not the whole thing. But I feel like that's a good rule of thumb for everyone to live their life by.
Yeah. It is.
A lot of Wiccans will put that into, like, they'll bring it over into veganism, which I obviously support.
I support eating meat. That was a weird...
You do you.
A weird sectioning of words. I do apologize for that.
I support eating meat.
Eating meat. Yes. Sorry.
I mean, we're different people, and that's okay. We have different opinions. We live our lives differently. We have different morals, and somehow we're going to get married and move to Colorado. Like,
it's going to work.
What was I saying? What were we talking? Oh, the playwright I got to hear speak. He, because you were talking about, words. You were talking about, making changes that people tell you to make and being like, well, still check it. His first play he wrote that was going to be performed for a world premiere at a big New York theater. He submitted his play, and the artistic director of theater was like, well, change this thing and then send it back to me. And the guy was so confident in his work, and he was like, well, this is what I really want to do. I really don't agree with his change. He waited a couple weeks, sent back the exact same play, no changes made. And the guy was like, this is beautiful. I love it. We're going to do it. Thanks for making those changes. It's great. So
the way art works.
Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your work. Strive to do better, but trust yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truth. So much truth.
So much truth. The truth bomb.
Ooh. Maybe we shouldn't use bomb. Seems like a violent word.
After we're talking about not harming anyone.
Exactly. We are not blowing anyone up with the truth. We're just informing you of its presence. And
It's like a truth garden.
Yeah. Yeah. Except, like, can it be like a garden without like scented flowers so that we can include those with allergies?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Truth
Yeah.
garden. Welcome to our truth garden. That's how we should open.
Yes.
Time for a
Welcome to our truth garden.
Oh my God. Look at us figuring things out as we go along.
I'm just imagining things on merch as we go. So that's all I'll say about that right now, if we decide to keep in this episode. But there are lots of things that Morgan and I say all the time that will probably work their way out in this podcast, and we already have ideas for merch because
Definitely.
we are successful.
Always have
People
been.
love us.
I got a first place ribbon as soon as I came out of the womb.
All my participation ribbons say that I'm the best millennial, so buy our shit.
Hold up. I had ribbons that said I was the best millennial.
You had ribbons that said you were the best millennial? How
Yeah,
can we both
I
have
even
ribbons
have
that said we were the best millennial?
I even have a trophy, so I feel like I've won up to you there.
I
win. Just kidding. Morgan Humberg does not accept participation ribbons. Actually, I threw them all away. So
I also threw all mine away.
the
like
one
almost
award
immediately after I got them.
The one award that I have that I am most proud of is I won a euchre tournament at my school, and that is the one trophy I have that I am most proud of. I have tons of trophies, but you know.
I remember when I was in kindergarten, I also, for this story to make sense, I am a recovering perfectionist.
Yes.
I've gotten much more mellowed out in my old age of 25.
You're so young.
I'm so wise. I've had so much life happen to me. Not really.
Right.
But when I was in kindergarten, I won the highest academic achiever award. And I was so proud that I called my uncle and I told him we should put what I'm about to say on a shirt. We should make a trophy and it should say this phrase that 5-year-old Casey thought she won. The highest academic retriever award.
Yes.
So we're all highest academic retrievers here.
So when did you know that 5-year-old Casey was actually in a dog obedience class and not kindergarten?
5-year-old Casey wanted to be a dog. 25-year-old Casey wants to be a dog. She also wants to have all the dogs on a compound.
Yes.
Where there are no rules.
Never. Except for don't harm other people. I mean, we just keep coming back to this one. Just...
Right. And aminals.
Yes. Oh, God, no. Don't harm an animal.
But yes. So, and then to tie back in the recovering perfectionism thing, my poor mother, God bless her, raising me was a challenge, I am sure. And I was also her first. So she was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? More to come on that in the future. Yes. But the next year in first grade, I did not win the highest academic retriever award.
Oh no.
And she tells me the story. I don't remember it because I was a child and I was living in the moment. But I had a mental breakdown on my front porch and I was sobbing and telling my mom I needed to be the best. And my mom, when she told me that story, was like, she could just see me in the future, like having an eating disorder and cutting myself. So, flash forward to a lot of shit and some therapy later, and I'm a functioning human being.
Yeah, I still got to get there. But I feel like we lived a very similar
Yes.
childhood of perfectionism. I'm
Yeah.
definitely on that level. We can go into my deep perfection rehab as we talk on this podcast.
Yeah. Same.
Nobody wants to hear that right now. It's fine. I don't want to hear it right now.
Well, tell us the things you do want to hear, audience.
Yeah.
Because even though we're monologuing, we would like your dialogue. What?
We want to monologue with your dialogue.
I see that in like a fancy script writing.
Yes, me too. Oh my God.
Your dialogue.
We have the same brain.
High
Hashtag
tech
millennials.
receivers.
Yeah. This tea is caffeine free, so we can only last for so long.
Right. And we want you all to join in the discussion too. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because again, we are just two of, I think, I read in an article, granted it was from 2017, so this number is guaranteed to be much higher. In 2017, the number of millennials in the workforce was 75.3 million.
Damn.
Million. Like,
which it's sad because that seems like a big number, but at the same time you're just like,
and that was just the United States.
There's billions of people in California. Oh, nah. But it's a lot. There are a lot of us. We stand strong as millennials.
And 75% of them live in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I believe it. It took me 40 minutes to go 10 miles. What kind of crazy shit is that?
It's ridiculous.
It is. And you know what? I know that it's worse in New York where the traffic doesn't move at all, but I'm just saying.
So many people can walk or take a subway in New York.
Yeah, you can't walk in Austin unless you live downtown and work downtown.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a commuting city. Problems of a commuter city. Problems of growing up in the country and,
You get a text your car.
Do what?
That's me. I'm like, I love the independence of just being able to leave whenever I want.
Yeah.
Because also, Indiana public transportation is a joke.
Oh, it is. But I mean, it's Indiana, while we have, really one big populous city, they just haven't had the need to put any funds into public transportation.
Well, and last year, right before I left, they were starting to expand public transportation, but it's just nice try.
Nah, it's always been on the bill, but nobody's been able to push it through, which it makes sense. It sucks for those living in the city, but you shouldn't move to a rural state if you expect to get somewhere without a car. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you can afford to live in New York, someplace where you can walk literally everywhere, or pretty much a majority of the East Coast is a lot of walking.
Chicago's a lot of walking and train.
Yeah, Chicago's a great one for public transportation. But I don't care if you say that you just want to move to the country because you need fresh air, which, we all breathe the same air, just to let you know.
It's just more concentrated in some areas.
Yes. Yeah, it's just out in the country you hit the landfill rather than the smog.
Yeah.
That's a discussion for another day. But don't move to the country and expect not to have to drive. Sorry.
Yeah. Unless you have someone who is dedicated to driving you everywhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to drive.
Yeah. Well, even then, yeah, you definitely need to hire a driver, because let me tell you, people, I was not able to Uber to work from my house. It doesn't run out in the fields.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Technology is not everything. And just so everyone knows, my parents do still have dial-up, so it still exists. because we aren't in a populated enough area to have Wi-Fi. All the gasps.
Yes.
And you know what? They love it. They absolutely love it because they don't need Wi-Fi. You don't need it to survive.
We really don't.
No. I think we've hit our time limit.
We have. Now we both need to go watch The Nightmare Before Christmas because maybe in the first time ever in history, don't fact check me, there's going to be a Friday the 13th before Christmas.
Yes.
I'm sure it's happened before, but it's much more dramatic to say this is the only one.
Yeah. And just in case anyone is wondering, yes, The Nightmare Before Christmas is both a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie. So,
and it's also the lifeblood that runs through Morgan's veins.
This is true. I consider it an all-season round movie because I'm just saying that, like, Easter also makes a cameo in it. You know, you can see a little bit of St. Patrick's Day. You know, it's an all year round thing. Let's not get picky here, okay?
So there are no rules.
Exactly.
And listen to our podcast.
Yes.
Buy our future shit to fund Morgan's Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo sleeve.
Oh, what do you mean? What tattoo sleeve? I don't know what you're talking about.
The ones that you buy that you just slip over your arm and you can take off whenever you want.
Oh, yes, that's what I meant. Yes.
You know, like a sleeve. It's a sleeve.
I am
a clean person, right? That's what that means.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you get them custom made by sleeve artists, they're quite expensive and time consuming.
This is true, but totally worth it. Yeah, that'd be great. Super great. Anyways, I want to thank everyone who made it this far in the podcast.
You are champs.
You're almost to the end.
Or maybe you're asleep.
Or maybe you're dreaming that you've hit the end of the podcast and you wake up and you realize that you just put it on pause, so now you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Anyways, we appreciate all of you. We've had like so many more followers on Instagram than I could have ever imagined. Like,
oh my God, I know. I'm so excited.
We appreciate all of you, all of your likes, your views. We're probably slightly annoying sometimes in our stories, but it's fine because you still look at it, so it counts.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to thank everybody who's given us like advice on getting started. We're still trying to find our groove, but you know, every podcast is different.
I don't know what you're talking about, Morgan. This is episode 2 of our podcast. We're clearly professionals.
We're like grooving like the Bee Gees here. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but yeah, if you're not with it, then you're not with it.
As Karen and Georgia would say, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
I'm realizing right now that I swear a lot more than you do in this podcast.
You know, it's hard for me to say the F word when I know some people are listening.
So, okay, this is what we should do. In our abundant free time, we should make up words that are our new swear words.
Oh God, no, that seems like it would take a lot of work.
No, I mean like there's a YouTuber that I watch. Her name's Mikey. She's amazing. She does special effects makeup, and she's very, very fun and talented. But she never swears in her videos. She'll say like instead of fuck, she'll say fluff. So like fluffin'.
Oh.
It's very adorable.
I mean, we could try that, but I feel like once I start doing that, I will just start swearing. So I guess maybe it can be our stepping stone into releasing Morgan's inner tantrum. Also, I had a lot of road rage today, so I feel like I got it out.
We still need to record your road rage and put it in an episode.
I heard that. If you do want to hear my road rage, let me know, and I'll just make a 20-minute podcast every day of me screaming at people. It's terrifying. And a real problem. I have a problem.
Or
But it
is it
makes
an
people
outlet?
laugh. Do what?
I said, or is it just an outlet?
It is an outlet until I put down my window and show people the bird.
I'm always afraid that I'll get shot if I do that.
You don't even live in Texas. Yeah, it's a thought that crosses my mind. Honestly, living here has technically toned down my road rage, but I do still scream at a lot of people. But I also do a lot of fun stuff too. I dance at traffic
Yeah,
lights and I creep a lot of people out. But
that's fun. You're living life.
I am trying
Yeah.
to get through the day.
But yeah, I guess we are, you can find us anywhere you find podcasts potentially. We're working on Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Right now
like,
you can find us on Spotify and on Anchor Podcasts.
mm-hmm.
You can also still find the full video on YouTube. I'm not sure who enjoys looking at my face in the evening, but
Yeah, we're kind of banking on you listening to this one.
yeah. Yeah, the dogs don't really make an appearance, so you could probably get away with audio.
But yes, so
Yes.
like us, rate us, subscribe, comment, all the interact with us.
Yeah, especially now that we're currently ad-free, because just to let y'all know, we
It's
don't be getting
coming.
ads. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming for you. So listen to us uninterrupted while you can.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
Terrifying. Anyways, thanks you
Sounds
guys.
good. Oh,
What?
I
No,
interrupted you.
no, you.
I was
Oh,
gonna do our sign
God,
off. Ah!
the
Yeah.
worst. You're
Yeah.
terrible. Zena's telling me it's time to go. So, thank you guys so much for listening and for all your support. Follow us, like us, rate us, as Casey said. We love you guys.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Bye.
Bye.